We've been absolutely onslaughted this last couple of weeks with bombshell after bombshell after bombshell. Well, guess what? I've got another huge one for you, and it comes directly from Tulsi Gabbard, the Director of National Intelligence. She now states, I'm going to play the clip for you, the audio clip. In a new interview, she now states that not only was former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper one of the architects, as well as a slew of other high-profile people, including Obama and Hillary, of this Russia collusion hoax, but Clapper, this isn't his first scandal. This wasn't his first rodeo. Wait till you hear what she drops and unveils. It's going to knock your socks off, and it's going to make complete sense. Also, I've got a clip from that poor woman in Cincinnati who was brutally attacked by a violent mob in downtown Cincinnati. Wait till you hear what she says, and Vice President J.D. Vance commending her for coming out and saying what we all feel. It's very powerful. And then stick around for this. This video is going to end on such a high note. President Trump gets asked about Howard Stern, who just got his contract canceled by Sirius XM because he's a woke, ridiculous, talentless, feckless mook, just like Kimmel and Colbert and all the rest of them. President Trump offers his take on why Howard Stern got canceled, and you're not going to believe what he has to say. First, let's listen to Tulsi Gabbard. I can only play the audio of this, so listen closely, turn up your volume. You don't want to miss this. Here's the first clip of her doubling down on the coup, and then I'm going to share with you what she says about Clapper. Watch.
This is where you use the word dangerous. This is where the weaponization of the intelligence community can have such a dangerous outcome that is really impossible actually to measure. When we look at a sitting president of the United States and President Obama unhappy with the outcome of the election and making the appearance of a peaceful transition of power,
priding himself on it
over and over and claiming to be the champion of democracy, and yet launching what we now know came from President Obama was a covert mission, essentially, to subvert the will of the American people, create this lie that would challenge the legitimacy of President Trump's election and the 4 years of his administration, resulting and affecting in what was truly a years-long coup. This is why it's so important, and I just keep repeating myself over and over again, because you look at the evidence that we released. We have to look at it within the greater context of what happened in the months leading up to that election, November 2016, and what followed in the years after, in order to understand or get a glimpse into the true implications of this.
Why do you think Barack Obama did that? He'd served 8 years. He was going out on a high. What was he so frightened of with Donald Trump that he needed to sabotage him?
I haven't seen any intelligence that reflects his inner thoughts or intentions with this. But again, I think you can take a step back and just recognize at face value, if Hillary Clinton had won that election, this would not have happened.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. What do you guys think? Why do you think Barack Obama instituted this fake, treasonous acts of sedition, ultimate betrayal of the country on President Trump? I think Gabbard's absolutely right. If Hillary would have won, we never would have heard of this. This never would have happened. And that's how the Democrats play. They're dirty. They're nasty. They're anti-American. They're antithetical to the Constitution. I can't wait to get your thoughts on this. Here's the big one right here. Here is Tulsi Gabbard now talking about former Director of National Intelligence. These guys are so evil, so nasty. Listen to what she says about him and how this isn't just his first rodeo. Check this out.
James Clapper was on the team that created, that manufactured intelligence assessment that led to the Iraq war, about the Iraq WMDs. He writes about it in his book, saying that he and his team of intelligence analysts created something that was not there. When you look at his actions then, and you look at his actions in 2016 as Obama's Director of National Intelligence, you see someone who has no problem whatsoever politicizing and manufacturing and weaponizing intelligence for a political outcome.
It kind of makes me wonder, why Obama, George W., Clinton, they're such buddies, and they seemed really smitten and chummy with each other for so long. I have nothing, opposed to being hospitable and even friends, even good friends with people who disagree with you and who have different values or ideas or ideologies, etc. But their kind of relationship always seemed suspect to me. And they tried to flaunt it like, look at us. See, we're former presidents and we're from different, sides of the aisle. We still get along. But George W. was an absolute awful president. He was an awful president in every regard. Taking up Iraq, a vendetta, and trying to get retribution for your father, displacing millions, destroying any stability the Middle East had. And now Gabbard confirming that Clapper has really such an ease, a comfortability. He's so cavalier about lying. That's a huge bombshell right there. I can't wait to get your comments on this. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Okay, I want to play this clip for you next. This is Holly, who was brutally beaten by this mob, these thugs. And these guys were filming her instead of calling 911, and nobody came to her aid. The mayor, the police chief, nobody, absolutely nobody. She didn't hear from anybody. Listen to this indictment at this press conference on really something that I think we all feel. And I think she just articulates it so well. Check this out.
First and foremost, I just want to say that I don't want to relive what happened to me, 8 or 9 days ago. I'm here to talk about the future and how we can change it, how we can prevent this from happening to anybody else. These heinous crimes have to stop. I never want this to happen to anyone else, especially a mother, a daughter, somebody who is loved. So I just know what it's done to my family, not just to me. And I think that moving forward, we do need more accountability. And I definitely think that, we need more police officers, but like he said, the judges who are just letting people out with a slap. The man who attacked me and might have permanently damaged me forever should never have been on the streets, ever. And the fact that he had just gotten out of jail previously for something he should have been in there for years, it's really sad to me because I can't even fathom how many other people who have been attacked by the same type of man over and over and over. In Toledo, in Columbus, Cincinnati, Dayton, our streets are being taken over and nobody is doing anything. I am so sad, and I need to be the voice to help all of the victims that never got their justice. The biggest thing that I think really upsets me is the desensitization of humans, where there's a brutal attack, attempted murder in front of you, and they all think, oh, cool, let me get my phone and record it. I truly hope that in the future there's some sort of bill to where somebody has to be prosecuted or at least fined if they don't call 911 first to save someone's life. I have felt hopeless for the future of my children, what kind of world they're going to grow up in, because it has just gotten, worse and worse.
Wow. That was just, that kind of moved me emotionally. J.D. Vance, our vice president, said, what happened to this woman is completely unacceptable. I'm proud of her for speaking out. This all started with the ridiculous terrorist organization BLM and the defund the police, the worst idea ever in American history. And now you've got a communist who's this close to running the largest city in America, one of the largest cities and most economically viable cities in the world, whose number one campaign initiative, who's said it over and over again. Now he denies it. And now he has private security, by the way, just like a communist. Good enough for me, but not for thee. His biggest talking point is defunding the police. That's why this is happening. Police are scared to do their job. They're now wearing body cams, which actually helps them because it proves they're doing a great job. And our streets, this happens in Chicago, Los Angeles. Los Angeles is a dystopia. San Francisco. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. This is going to keep happening unless we do something. This is going to keep happening unless we end the woke BS that's still trying to gasp for their last breath. We need to stomp them out like the disease that they are. I can't wait to get your comments on this. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. What a sad, sad thing to happen. Okay, I said I was going to end this video on a really, really high note, and I hope I can. Check this out right here. So if you didn't hear, SiriusXM, who's been paying Howard Stern, who is a staunch TDS-infected lunatic who has literally taken his show, just like Colbert, just like all these shows, they completely forgot about Johnny Carson's maxim that you don't mix entertainment and politics. You're an entertainer. Nobody cares about your opinion. Colbert didn't listen. Kimmel didn't listen. A lot of these people didn't listen. And now Howard Stern is facing the brunt of this. SiriusXM is canceling his contract. And so they were paying him $100 million a year. And they're like, look, we're not making any money off you. Nobody's listening to you. You alienated over half your audience. He actually literally said this, by the way. This is verbatim. Howard Stern said, if you're a Trump supporter, I don't want you listening to my show. Well, the free market has responded. And Trump was asked about this. Check out his awesome response. This is so good.
Brian, I've got an entertainment-based question for you. A few weeks ago, Stephen Colbert announced that he was leaving his show. Howard Stern announced that he and Sirius XM Radio are parting ways. Do you think the hate Trump business model that's been in the entertainment business is going out of business because it's not popular with the American people?
Well, it hasn't worked, and it hasn't worked really for a long time, and I would say pretty much from the beginning. Colbert has no talent. I mean, I could take anybody here. I could go outside on the beautiful streets.
That's true.
And pick a couple of people that do just as well or better. They get higher ratings than he did. He's got no talent. Fallon has no talent. Kimmel has no talent. They're next. They're going to be going. I hear they're going to be going. I don't know, but I would imagine because they get, Colbert has better ratings than Kimmel or Fallon. You know that.
That's shocking.
Howard Stern, it's a name I haven't heard. I used to do a show. We used to have fun. But I haven't heard that name in a long time. What happened? He got terminated?
Yeah, they're going to separate ways because I think what they're offering salary-wise is real low than what he's getting.
You know when he went down?
Whenever you want.
You know when he went down? No, before. When he endorsed Hillary Clinton, he lost his audience.
Right.
People said, give me a break. He went down when he endorsed Hillary Clinton.
Boom. 100% accurate. 100%. I am loving every second of this. America is winning. We got a closed border. Global trade has been completely reoriented in our favor. We have executive orders that make sense. We have legislation that makes sense. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, tariff revenue coming in. The economy's booming. Oh, I got to play this too. Not only, here's a bonus if you stuck around. Not only is Trump a seer when it comes to media and everything, but listen to Squawk Box Joe, who gets corrected live on air. And listen to Trump's reaction when he says, I got the most votes in Texas. And he's like, we got to fact check you on that. Listen to what Trump says about it.
Here we go. So you did get the highest number of votes in Texas. So that's true. But when you're talking about,
then you don't have to say anything more, Joe.
I got to say this.
No, don't say anything more. Don't qualify it by saying,
no, I'm
I
not
got the highest number of votes.
You did.
In the
you did. I'm moving on. I'm moving on to you.
How can you not love this guy? We have somebody with balls, with personality, who's articulate, who's into radical transparency, who tells the truth, who's a builder, a creator. Everything he touches turns to gold, as opposed to these radical, hypocrite, treasonous mooks. Everything they touch turns to... Oh, I love this. I just absolutely love this, and I hope you do too. Trump was right about everything. Everything. We're so lucky, America. And if you think that we're lucky and you agree with me, tap that thumbs up because it only takes you a second, but it helps us out tremendously. Make sure you check out these videos coming up on the screen right here in case you missed them. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. And as always, may God bless you. May God bless President Trump. And may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.